Even if you feel great about your new home purchase, whether new construction or resale, you don't want to miss your chance at doing the final walkthrough. Watch this video and find out why. Hey, it's Angie with the Guillette Group. This is the Live Joy Southwest Florida channel where you find everything you need to know about moving to and living in Southwest Florida. Ring the bell and you'll be notified every time a new video is released. What is a final walkthrough? This is your opportunity to inspect the home and make sure that it's everything that you're supposed to get before you officially close. Come on in, we'll do a final walkthrough. What should you bring with you to your walkthrough? First, you definitely want to bring a copy of your inspection report. I would also bring some painter's blue tape. And third, a camera. Don't worry, we all have cameras with us on our cell phones. And lastly, it'd be a good idea to bring with you a copy of your purchase agreement. So when is the final walkthrough? Well, it depends on whether or not you're purchasing a resale or whether you're purchasing new construction. With a resale home, your final walkthrough is typically going to be the day before or the day of closing. And with new construction, you actually are going to have your inspection and your final walkthrough about a week before closing. And we're going to get into all the details of why those are different.
So we often get asked, am I required to do a final walkthrough? And the short answer is no, you're absolutely not required to do a final walkthrough. However, we highly recommend that you do them. It is an opportunity for you to make sure on a resale that any inspection items that were part of the contract have been taken care of and that the home is left in the condition that you are expecting when you purchase it. On a new sale side, it is the opportunity for you to walk through with the construction manager and point out anything that you might see, items that have come up on the inspection, and be sure that those items are going to be addressed before closing. And don't worry, if you're out of town, that's why you will work with a team like us. We've got resources available and we are able to help with that, and we can FaceTime you. We can do everything we need to do remotely if required in order to be sure that you take care of this very important, close to the end step of purchasing a home. All right, so what happens at a walkthrough and what am I looking for? So we're going to start with new construction in this case. Basically what you're doing is, in addition to anything that is found on the home inspection, you're walking through and you are looking for any cosmetic items or any items that you notice that still need to be complete before you close on your home. For example, if you come down here and you look underneath here, you can see that this island is not complete yet. It's missing a trim piece. So we add the blue tape with arrows up so that it just helps the builders know that's an item that's still outstanding. So I touched on this a little bit already, but what you're looking for in a resale general walkthrough, the main things are that all of the terms of the contract have been fulfilled. And as part of that, it might be inspection repairs that were requested, but basically you want to be sure that the house is in the same condition as it was when you put in your contract. And remember guys, there are hundreds of thousands of moving parts that go into building a house, whether it's new construction or resale. And the reality is, it is never going to be perfect, ever. And once you move in, it's highly likely that you're going to come across some other things. And this is why we've got warranties, and this is why we've got punch lists, at least in the case of new construction, so that all of those items will be taken care of. And speaking of punch lists, when we're talking about new construction, there are a couple different punch lists that you need to worry about. One is your short-term punch list that you take care of at your final walkthrough. For example, these are cabinets that need to be adjusted. We've got tape on the dishwasher that just needs to be fixed a little bit. The feet need to be leveled out. So all of those are items that you're going to take care of, usually prior to or just after closing. Then there's a second punch list, which is your 1-year punch list. And this is where items that are not emergencies, that you just keep a list over the first year of your home, and you provide that to the builder before your 1 year is up, and they will come in and they will punch out the rest of those items. So for example, little settling cracks, if something, if your molding pulls apart, or if a drawer is not working appropriately in your bathroom. Those are all items you're going to put on that 1-year punch list and provide that to your builder, and they're going to knock those out before your 1-year anniversary. Okay, so I'm standing in a new build. these walls are perfectly clean for the most part, outside of a few touch-ups that need to happen with paint. But in a resale, this can be a gray area, but we want to make sure that we address this. If an item is attached to the wall, it stays. We're talking about LED lights, if they're sticking on there. We're talking about mounted TVs. Again, can be gray. This should all be spelled out in your contract on a resale. If you have a Ring doorbell, that Ring doorbell needs to stay. You don't take it with you when you go. The person who's purchasing your house is buying that Ring doorbell. It's attached to your walls. That stays. A Nest thermostat. A buyer doesn't want to come into a final walkthrough and have the thermostat switched out from a nice smart thermostat to just a plain one. So I know that a lot of times we've talked to people and they're like, but those are mine and I want them to go with. Unless it is spelled out in the contract, those items attached need to stay. And one other quick reminder is things like blinds, curtains, drapes, those all stay with the home unless you specify otherwise. And what are the rules on cleaning? So in a new construction home, they're gonna actually come and they will clean the home spick and span before your closing. They actually wash the floors, they come in, they clean everything. It is all ready for you to move in. In the case of a resale, in Florida, our contract, the expectation is broom swept clean. So no, it does not mean a professional cleaning unless that is something that is negotiated as part of your contract. So if something comes up at your final walkthrough, it's okay. The sky is not falling. We're gonna take care of it and we're gonna rectify this resolution. There's usually 3 things that can happen if something comes up on your final walkthrough. First possible resolution is we can delay the closing until the seller rectifies whatever it is that comes up. The second option is a seller concession. Maybe the seller has already moved out, maybe the seller doesn't deal with it. At that point, we would negotiate some sort of concession that you're in agreement with, and there would be a credit at closing. And the third remedy would be actually holding some money back in an escrow account where the seller would put some money to the side and the title company would hold it, and that would cover the costs of any repairs that are necessary. So whether you're buying a resale or whether you're buying new construction, you can see how critical it is to have this final walkthrough as your final piece before closing. You should definitely check out this video, Miromar Lakes Beach Club. They've got new construction and they've got resale, and it is one of our favorite communities, and it embodies Southwest Florida living.
Ooh.